What's going on, guys? This is Bradley alongside Zach, and you are listening to the Charm City Sideline podcast. Tonight is our final mock draft Monday. Zach and I will each be doing a 7-round mock for the Ravens. Zach, we're now 3 days away from the NFL draft. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling so good. The draft, we're gonna share some hot takes in a second here, but the draft week, especially with this much preparation that we've done for it, this is unlike anything for me just as a fan. So I think all leading up to Thursday and the weekend, this is all so different in the best way. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as we are. And freaking strap yourself in, buckle yourself in. We got a packed week of fun stuff for you too. And yeah, draft week, baby.
Yeah, we're going to be live tonight, obviously, and then live Wednesday night doing a full 1-round mock draft. And then we'll be live for the whole entire first round, and we'll be doing recaps after day 2 and day 3, and then a full draft recap either on Sunday or Monday.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
So Brad, to get us started here for some hot takes, like, what do you think? What's one thing that you can say for this first round that is legitimately a hot take? I mean, I've heard a lot. I honestly watched one, like a video of some people eating like hot wings and doing hot takes about the draft, and none of them were like, that's not that crazy. But I'm hoping that I at least think I have one. Maybe it's a little more bold than that, but still, I want to hear yours.
So I talked about this a little bit in our receivers podcast. So there's a guy from Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver. He's about 200 pounds, 6 foot. And I am a lot higher on him than consensus. People say that the issue with him is that he has a high floor but a low ceiling because he's not an elite athlete. I feel as though you can't put a ceiling on receivers because you look at guys like Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua. No one thought those guys were elite athletes coming out of their class. And they are top 5, top 10 in production, yards, touchdowns. And I see that similar play style in Egbuka. And you mentioned, actually, when we were doing the pod about draft fatigue, and I think that also is something that's playing into this. He's been good for 3 years. He was the number 2 behind JSN. Now he's the number 2 behind Jeremiah Smith. And I think it all is just percolating into him being a late first, early second guy, when in my opinion, I think he should be a top 15 pick. And he is my wide receiver 1 besides the unicorn of Travis Hunter. And, you know, I'm not saying I would take him if he's there at 27, but I would not be mad if the Ravens did.
Huh. I mean,
do you have any thoughts there?
Well, I think it's kind of fun because there's a little, maybe even a debate about just Luther Burden and him, but bona fide top 15 is bold, I would say. And I think that that the term draft fatigue has been so, for me, so coined around someone like Egbuka because it doesn't really make sense. He's a bona fide first rounder, but given, you know, T-Mac and Burden and Hunter, I guess, too, like the whole first round and is so, it's almost a little cloudy. The whole first round doesn't have a perfect first 5 or 6 off the board. It's all kind of wishy-washy after really 2, which is awesome. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's bold. I think that's bold to say. I mean, you're saying he's a bona fide number 2 for a long time, or you're saying potential Pro Bowl level guy if he's in the right offense, that kind of thing?
So I'm saying he's definitely going to be a good number 2, which why would you not pick that in the first round?
Right.
And I think he has the potential to be a top 10 receiver.
Wow. Okay. That's the more bold that I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine is about really our Ravens in their draft pick.
Okay.
I didn't want to like shoot which person it was going to be like from the hip. That's
Uh-huh.
but I did want to say where I think they're going in the draft. And whenever I talk about really the team and best player available, it is really hard for me to wrap my head around a safety at this point. Like, sure, Starks and Emenworry are probably on the Ravens' radar. I bet that they are definitely capable players to be drafted by the Ravens. I just don't think that is as much of a need. So whenever you did that, whenever you did a mock draft where you traded back, that's the only
Yeah.
I could see in which they maybe move back 5 picks, 6, 7 picks, and get some Starks because they know he can fall that far, even though there's some guys that might take him behind him. I think the only position that of available in the group that is not bona fide elite is with edge for the Ravens. So whenever you talk about the guard position is the only one that I can technically counter this with. Someone like Falele, someone like Voorhees isn't necessarily elite. But I mean, they're both young. They have the potential to grow. And if the Ravens were walking into week 1 tomorrow, then that group is technically starting caliber. It's just not as hope. But I think the edge room with Kyle Van Noy and Owe is good. And the system is always good. It gets top 3 in sacks. But whenever they talk about, the Ravens need a pass rusher, it is not, okay, let's grab Azeez Ojulari, let's grab Matthew Judon, and all our problems are gone away, and all the fan base is, happy-go-lucky. I think the Ravens in the first round are going to pick an edge. I think that is almost no matter what. I think the board can fall in that way, and in more ways than one. I've seen so many mocks where the Ravens end up with a guy that slid pretty far, end up with a crazy-looking Mike Green, Shamar Stewart, James Pierce. Pierce wouldn't technically be a slide, but still around that range of an edge.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a guy. But I think that my hot take would be that the Ravens are going to take an edge day 1. I think that is – I'm very confident in that.
I could see that. My devil's advocate question would be, do you think that you still take an edge if Malachi Starks is there?
I guess it would depend on the guy. Like Starks being there, if there's a few edge in that kind of group where you can almost pick from 2 or 3 guys,
Yeah.
that maybe they're higher on one, obviously, then I think that they go with that guy. But if there's maybe the 2 that are, if it's A, B, C, if A's there, over with. Story's over. But B and C are there. I think the potential to move back comes into play, and then they play with Lions might take them. Bills, I guess, might be in the mix for something like that. Chiefs, even looking at D-line. There's so much in that back part where they just want to take whatever is the best available.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if the Ravens do play that game, they could take a guy like Starks. But I'm seeing it as less and less likely. I think that Starks doesn't have the top 5 safety capability that you would want in a first round safety, because safeties don't necessarily come around all that often in the first round. So if they do, they're, up in the upper echelon of them. So I don't see him as that kind of level guy. And I think that they most likely have an edge that they want to become an elite level guy. And that's where I guess the hot take kind of comes into play.
Interesting. Well, I guess we need to get it going in these mocks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll each be doing one. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Oh,
Let's get this pulled up here.
I can go first if you want.
Sounds good. All
right.
Here we go, Zach.
7 rounds. Is it gonna? Okay, I was about to say, I don't know if I can watch the board.
Okay, we're not accepting trades. Okay. You want to see who's picked?
Oh, wow. Sure.
So we got Ward, Carter, Hunter.
This is Warren top 5. Jeez.
Sort of what I could see happening here. Mike Green to the Packers, Shador to the Steelers.
Oh, and a trade up. Yuck.
Ibuka, my guy, goes 25. Okay. So on the board, we have Emenworry, which is interesting. Walter Nolan, Gray Zabel, Scorton, your guy. Hampton, who we talked about. Ezeraku, Amos, Burden, Kenneth Grant, Revel, Hairston. Who are you
Wow.
going with here,
It's a
Zach?
good
What's your thought
group.
process?
Well, as much as I hated the look of it, I mean, just like I was saying, hoping that the Ravens go edge. I'm still confident in that. I don't like how this board fell, but I think that someone like Ezaraku, someone like Scorton aren't necessarily the first round guy that the Ravens would want. I'm staring down Zabel. I'm staring down Kenneth Grant. I think Grant is usually taken by this point, and I mean, I think that overall, just keep adding to that D line. I'm leaning Grant.
Grant over Nolan.
Well, yeah. I mean, Grant's the type of guy that is made for, I saw someone say it so perfectly. He's made for the AFC North. I mean, he's a perfect. I love that. Just kind of a powerful guy.
Yeah.
And this kind of mock really has implications towards that. Unless the Ravens were to get a little spicy and trade back, get it maybe an edge like Scorton, but is this possible to trade? Like, is that trade kind of thing for this a little easier, or do we have to come up with it?
It's still pretty tough. You can't force a trade on here, but we did get an offer from the Chiefs to move back to 31 and gain 63 if you want to do that.
Okay, I'll do it.
That's actually
That's
a pretty
perfect.
interesting.
Yeah, you know what? Done deal. I'm accepting.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So move back to 31.
Saints.
So
They want
Scorton,
Scorton.
Ezaraku, Emanwari, and Hampton went.
Wow.
So you could still get Grant at 31 or Nolan.
Oh, I love Nolan. I just to make it get interesting, I'll go Grant. I think Grant's fun.
Okay.
He matches a Ravens kind of profile for sure.
And you're gonna have 2 second-round picks
2
here.
seconds. Ooh. I'm living large.
Watts, Schweschinger, you talked about him. Savai Naya,
wow.
Alexander, Jalen Royals. I watched him for the first time yesterday. Oh my goodness, he's going to be good.
Royals.
Uman Mielen, Bo.
Akua. Yeah, I want this. I think I want to see the top here. I mean, Watts being there is pretty funny. That's always the pick for me. But
Yeah.
I don't mind entertaining a Schwessinger pick. I don't mind entertaining it. I did see something today where I guess Roquan was a part of a press conference for all the early workouts and all, and he said that him and Trenton Simpson had been working out together. So maybe they're a little more confident in the linebacker position. Maybe they go there later. But I mean, shoot, I love the idea of Xavier Watts in a Ravens uniform, especially this kind of value. It's a little later.
Yeah. Zay Lopez in the comments, 12 picks, kind of crazy if that's what happens. Yeah, a trade back, and then there's 12 picks instead of 11. So you're going with Watts here?
I am.
Thanks. So Kenneth Grant and Watts.
It's a pretty sweet 2 for me. I won't lie.
And then you're picking again.
Oh my goodness.
Right here.
And I see it immediately.
Who are you taking?
Yeah, they must have really wanted Scorton. I mean, holy crap. I'm all eyes on Bow here. I mean, that was a guy I wanted with the previous pick, debating between him and Watts, but I think that also fulfilling the guard spot in competition in a second round level guy with someone as agile and fun and twitchy of a potential stud like Bow. I'm all in on that. That's my pick. What a start for my first 3. I'm pumped.
With your free second round pick, you go with Marcus Bow out of Purdue. Probably going to play him at guard. And now we're at 91. And you have Chris Paul Jr., linebacker I like a lot. On the board still, Kyle Kennard, DJ Giddens. Demetrius Knight, Dorian Strong, Miles Frazier, Ty Robinson.
Wow. Strepo.
Sanker's a guy I know we both like.
CJ West. That's my guy. Well, I mean, just knocking off the list here. I mean, Knight has been another guy that in 3-round mocks has been to the Ravens, linked to him. And I think you mentioned him in our other guys podcast, did you not?
Yeah, I talked about Demetrius Knight. I mentioned that I'm a little bit lower on him than consensus.
Hmm.
I do see him as a third round guy. Some people have him as a second round. PFF has him at 33 on their big board. I would be fine with Knight at 91.
I know this is a sweet spot to get a potential linebacker that gives Trenton Simpson a run for his money as the 2.
Yeah. Comment from Zay, is this year a deep O-line class? I would like to get some guards since our guards entering final year. I have an interesting take on this. Like, and Zach, this is sort of your final pick for me here. Like, I don't know if I want to add another day 3 guard to that rotation. You know what I mean? I feel like it's either take one early to take either Voorhees or Falele's job, or kind of just take a developmental tackle later. That's kind of how I feel about guard.
So even if we get to around 4 or 5 and a guy comes up like Frazier, you're
I'm
saying
taking him.
okay.
I'm just saying, like, I would probably prefer to take a guard with my first 3 picks.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, Andrew
But,
likes Zabel and Booker.
but yeah, I think just from what we've looked at for guards, I mean, we're pretty confident in these later picks as well as just guys
Yeah.
to well,
Yeah.
not necessarily as in, day 1 starter guys, but definitely as guys to
Mhm.
give Voorhees and Falele real
You
shot.
you locking in Knight here?
I think so. Strong first 4 here for me.
Yeah. Bro, that day 1 and day 2 right there.
Yeah, wow. Talk about pumped up. Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
My guy.
Savion Williams. Dude, what are you talking about? Right under my guy.
There
about
you
him?
go.
Oh my goodness.
Both
Yeah.
of For anyone that doesn't know, both of mine and Zach's gems are right wide receiver.
Yeah, that's
gems right
amazing.
here.
But that only means that this is meant to be. I'm going Dante Thornton. 4.340 on his
Really?
second attempt. He's not necessarily the best route runner. It's a reason he was a 4th round pick, but I mean, Thornton can be a part of this offense as in a deep shot guy for Lamar, and I think that's a perfect fit here, especially in the 4th. I love this as the Ravens still want to address wide receiver. Even you get D-Hop, but you still want to add to it at all times.
Yeah.
Because if one of those guys goes down, as in our top 3, we want to have guys that can come in there 6'4". Freaking love
4.3 flat at 6'4" is absolutely insane.
Sweet.
9.85 RAS score. I mean, like you said, that post at Tennessee, he obliterated corners on all year.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But that was the post and the 9 route were basically his arsenal, but no one could cover him. So
because that's speed, man.
An interesting prospect for sure. So Zach goes Dante Thornton there at 136. Now we are in, I believe, okay, so that we're in the end of round 5 now, because did our other 4th round pick go to Kansas City?
I think it was a 4th. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so now you're in the 5th, late 5th. Anyone you like in here? No O-line yet.
Bow. But
oh yeah. Sorry, I completely forgot about him.
No, it's okay. Go a little bit more. I think since this is kind of we've had a dead spot here for about 40 picks. I feel like this would be a time where they don't care.
Yeah.
Start picking someone that they really like. Jay Higgins.
Jay Higgins, you're
Canada. Yeah.
We look at corners.
I don't know if there's I was just hoping for maybe a guy that was familiar, but I think this is a good time to go like a Jack Nelson. I think a tackle that can be a part of the depth, the bench. That's okay.
And could compete at guard, even though he's a rookie 5th round pick.
Sure.
Okay, we got our 5 speed runs here.
Yeah, let's go. I think corner's okay. I think the best available corner's okay. I think Wally's fine. Jeez, Mills was falling there. Oh my god. Yeah. Isn't Cam Jackson the freaking?
I think that's a different one. I talked about Cam Jackson in our D-line video.
That's not the same one that's like I don't want to be mean, but very large.
Very large. Is that Slackman? I'm not sure. Let me look it up real quick, honestly.
Okay. I thought it was freaking Jackson. Wow.
It might be Cam Jackson.
Okay, I want him if it is.
No, it's not Cam Jackson.
It's not?
I don't know who it is. I can't remember his name.
Wasn't he with
Anyway.
Florida?
Yeah, but Cam Jackson is a normal-sized defensive lineman.
Okay, go back to all. Let's do a little quick one here. Oh, I don't mind running back.
Let's look at running backs.
Yeah, I was about to say, just look at
Don't take Rocket.
Why? Because you want to take him? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I've always been a Trevor Etienne guy.
I will go with him.
Yeah.
All right, 3 more picks here.
A little biased.
Want to get a kicker at some point?
Oh yeah, I guess. We can do it now. I guess.
A lot of options here, Zach.
Wow.
Who do you like the most?
Fitzgerald was always our guy in the mocks, but
You're
I
gonna
mean,
go with Fitz. Fitz
yeah.
visited with the Ravens, so
Okay, then yes, we'll do it. We'll do it.
he was the only one that had a visit with the Ravens. All right, 2 more. Any positions of need you haven't addressed? Linebacker, maybe.
That was quick.
Maybe punt returner.
Yeah.
Wester's
Don-
there.
Don C in the chat.
What's up, Don C? I know. What's up, guys? Almost Christmas. The second Christmas of the year is Thursday night.
There you go. Yeah.
Comment from Zay. I like Tate Ratledge in second or third. Yeah, I like Tate Ratledge a lot too.
We talked about him.
It'll be interesting to see if he goes. Dawson loves Tate Ratledge. It'll be interesting to see if he goes 59 or 91 if the Ravens are to take him. Yeah, is Desmond Watson his name from Andrew? Or no?
Oh,
no.
is it?
Yeah, it is Desmond Watson.
It is? Shoot.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, appreciate
it. He
it.
is. Let me get his measurables real quick.
Wester was one of your sleeper guys, wasn't it? LeJohn?
Yeah, he's a punt returner. Desmond Watson is 6'6", 450.
Sheesh.
450.
Yeah, Michael Pierce 2.0. Exactly, Andrew. Oh my gosh.
Zach, who do you want here? 2 more picks.
Do
you want to go Wester?
Well,
I'm gonna take him in mind. So
you're calling out your picks already. What the heck?
Yeah, I am. Sorry. I know Huzzy can return, except he's still there.
Okay, I think going another corner is more likely for a punt returner.
Yeah, who can also
yeah. Sounds more Ravens to me.
Yeah. All right. Last pick here.
We'll go Hawes here. Just gonna take a random back up here. Perfect.
Zach's draft complete. If anyone in the comments would like to grade this draft, feel free. Let's see.
Please do.
Zach, do you have any regrets in this draft? I mean, I will say that trade with the Chiefs is insane. You got to free Marcus Bowe.
Yeah. Probably the thing for me would be where the direction of the draft after Watts. Sure, I think I get a guard no matter what with that Chiefs trade back.
Yeah,
getting back for 31. But I mean, I like that comment here from Zay. I think Ravens go undrafted route for kicker, since nothing else came out about Tucker.
Yeah, but again, we've seen recent years where kickers start to go now.
That's true.
So they might need to get one. I don't know. Before I grade your draft, comment from Don C. Asking if I used help with 410. Yes, I did. I used to do their social media and some thumbnails for them. If anyone isn't already, go subscribe to James and Glenn 410 Sports Talk. Great guys. One of the best Ravens content on YouTube. Comment from Andrew. You think we draft a punter or UFA to compete with Stout? He definitely struggled a little bit, but I think they'd probably sort of let him. I think he was good enough, and I think he's been good enough. He wasn't like one of the worst punters in the league or anything. So Grant at 31, trading back and getting Kenneth Grant is awesome. I'm super high on Watts. The trade back enhances this a lot. I think I'm gonna go with an A because
Yeah, I'd be pretty that
what
top
is this
4 right
draft?
there. Oh my goodness.
What
The
is this
first 4
draft
is
mix?
just ridiculous.
Yeah, I
Just
love
ridiculous.
this.
And I think with Grant too, I was hoping for an edge still. I was hoping for Scorton, but I think that just helping the D line in general is fine. Zay gives it a B. I appreciate it. I'll give that's a passing grade.
Like you're not missing anything here.
No, and it kind of depends on how high you are on someone like Watson and Bow too.
Yeah, like maybe corner a little earlier, but taking
Yeah,
Watts.
I mean, yeah,
Watts is,
that's the kind of the argument for it. If you get Watts, then it doesn't negate it completely, but I don't know.
because Watts is penciled in at single high if the Ravens take him. He's playing deep. So Hamilton would probably play a lot more in the box with Washington also back there with Watts. And yeah, that would help corner a lot. So I guess we'll go to me now.
Andrew says, great job on the draft. A lot of value hit with the trading back. Yeah, the trading back saved my butt there. I was sold on getting an edge there, but I think the value of Grant being 31.
That trade back was insane. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to match that unless I get a similar offer. Might not be able to match your draft.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Zay is subscribed to 410. Yeah, they're awesome over there. I'm gonna try to get one of them on soon. Okay.
All right, let's go. I can't wait to pick the first round. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun.
I know, Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
See, this trade is not nearly as good.
Oh.
I could go all the way back to 50.
Well, you probably need to check on what kind of group that you have now. I mean, you can even get someone like your top 15 wide receiver.
I could take Emeka Egbuka. See,
but I like your board a lot more.
Devin, comment from Devin. Chiming in late. Let's just keep Rodrigo Blankenship on speed dial.
I don't know, Devin. I'm not. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but who knows? Maybe he can make a comeback.
You're right, maybe.
Okay, so I don't think I want to trade back to 50. Emeka Egbuka, Zach, if this was one of our first mock drafts, I think I might take him. But I don't feel good about doing this with my final mock. Usually it'd be awesome to get your first
I
pick,
thought you were
right?
definitely doing it. Shoot. Is Starks just looking too enticing up there? Is that what you're thinking?
I love Malachi Starks. Like, let's see who else is here. I mean, I like Donovan Jackson.
No one of that caliber. No one of that caliber. You would have to.
So if Ezeraku was here, and I will admit, Ezeraku, and I don't think he's here, Harmon, I would both consider over Starks. But I just think that Starks is very pro ready. And what's interesting about him, the 5 RAS did not test as well as people thought he was going to.
Got a comment here. I don't feel like I want a safety in the first round. I'm not gonna lie.
I saw that.
I mean,
I saw Mel Kiper talking about. But listen, I saw James Ogden, the guy who made the Ravens draft report. Awesome stuff. If anyone, go look at James Ogden's Twitter.
I can find a way to link it in this eventually. We'll do that.
Put it in the description of this video. It's insane. Anyway, he talked about, I wanted to give him credit. The Ravens for a little bit weren't able to go BPA because of the needs at receiver and edge and inside linebacker, Queen, Flowers, Bateman, Owe. Those weren't exactly BPA picks. They had major needs for a few years. Last year, they got to just take Nate Wiggins, who fell to them, was sitting there. This year again, I think edge is a pretty big need. No dire need. And I think Starks, Mel Kiper, who, if anyone doesn't know, is a Ravens fan, has lived in Baltimore.
The GOAT.
Said that last offseason, Starks was like 7th or 8th on his big board. And banged up a little, wasn't used as, the same as he was the year before, fell to now being late first rounder. I think you just have to take him. I'm going BPA here. I'm following what the Ravens do. I love Nolan. I love Ibuka. Everyone would get mad at me if I took a receiver, though. So I'm going to go with Starks here. Would you take Starks, Zach?
I think it's very Ravens too. I mean, in any situation where he's been available, it's happened. So that's the only thing for me. If Starks were to be there as a Ravens pick,
And
it
he
just
is
feels like it's meant to be.
every interview you watch, anything you hear about him, he like such a great guy too. I think the Ravens are hoping he falls to 20. I think the Ravens are definitely taking him if he's there. But anyway, I'm going to go with Starks. So if you take a safety, you really need to fill an edge quickly, in my opinion, and guard. And I have 2 picks to do it because you'd like to do it day 1 or day 2. Let's see.
Much.
So you got Ratledge here, who I could go with. You got Ursary, who I like a lot. I think can play guard early. I think the NFL is a lot higher on Ursary than what we see on boards and things like that.
Or just in the media. I mean, you don't hear his name that much.
Yeah.
And recently, even that
James
Ogden
Ogden.
was mentioning it in his preview that he was pretty high on him.
So this is sort of the issue that we got some comments. Cooper, I would take Stark. Shamar Stewart is the biggest. Okay. Devin, nothing wrong with having an elite secondary in the AFC. Exactly. Sort of what I'm thinking there. Zay, I see some Ravens YouTubers saying go for Watt in first round. That's why I'm on the fence about a safety. Xavier Watts?
Yeah, I saw a muck maybe yesterday that was taking Watts early. That early.
The Ravens at 27?
Yeah.
Listen.
He's definitely coming up the freaking draft.
Watts is my number 2 safety. I have him not right behind Starks. Behind Starks.
I did too, I think. Or no, I didn't.
I would not take him at 27. But
yeah,
it is interesting to think about. So my dilemma here, Zach. Jordan Burch is who I'm looking
you're
at.
High on him, yeah.
And Jordan Burch. Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, Jordan Burch, the classic big edge that the Ravens love, 6'4", 280, 8.5 sacks last year at Oregon. I'm thinking Burch or Ursary, who is, I think, very underrated as a tackle, can probably play guard this year. Once Stanley's done, whenever that is, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I think Ursary can be a great tackle in this league. So for me, it's between Ursary out of Minnesota and Jordan Burch, the edge from Oregon, because whoever I don't take will not be there at 91. What would you do between those two?
I don't love the idea of tackle here. I won't lie. I mean, even if he's possible to move into guard, I think that
well, I think he definitely would play guard.
I think even then, I think the edge, at least for Oladipo and Burch, is too enticing to me.
Devin, my Gamecocks bias once. Yeah, that's funny. So then it's like, if you're in a draft room, you're sort of thinking of like, okay, who might be there at 91 in terms of guards? Frazier, probably, right?
Yeah.
Edge, who are you looking at? Maybe Kennard, who I like a lot, but if it's not him, you could be in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Burch.
Dauncey here also. Burch with you.
Yeah, I agree with I slightly agree with Dauncey. I love Ursary. But if anyone hasn't watched Jordan Burch, go watch him. He's awesome. He had Oregon ran a fake punt, and Jordan Burch took it like 30 yards. They direct snap to him. He's an awesome player. Okay, so now I'm going guard here no matter what.
Okay.
And Frazier's right there. Miles Frazier, we both like him a lot. I think this is an
Heck yeah.
easy pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of filling in the needs here. You'd like to have a corner, but listen, I think the Ravens have 4 needs, and there's only 3 picks in the first 2 days of the draft. So I'm going to go with Miles Frazier here, a guard I like a lot at LSU, 6'5", 317, super athletic guy.
Wow.
First of all, I
Yeah,
think
look at
he
that
can play in
score.
zone or gap scheme. Ravens run both. Honestly, shifting a little bit more towards zone scheme with Monken. Comment from Andrew. I think they do some secondary or linebacker pick early. There he worked the coaching staff with Pagano. Yeah, Chiefs DB coach.
I forgot about Pagano.
Georgia
Yeah.
Tech linebacker coach. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I do believe that they want to go with Trenton Simpson to start. But back to the secondary, I would absolutely love Starks. But I'm going to go with Miles Frazier here, a guard that I think can definitely compete with Voorhees and Flele day one.
Absolutely. We're very high on Frazier. I think that's a great pick. I'd be stoked to have Frazier.
Yeah. Okay. First 4th round pick here for me. We've gone safety, edge, and guard. I'm going right to the corners to see who is here.
Oh, I like this comment here from Zay. I'm seeing Carson Schwetzinger too as a first round guy.
Yeah.
On the fence about. I mean, we talked about him a lot. I got to mention him as a not necessarily a gem, but a day 2/day 1 guy, and I was extremely impressed. He's a Ravens meeting guy, and wow, I wouldn't be that opposed. I think it would make you were all over it with making the fan base upset, but I would not be against that at all. Just from what I've seen from him.
Imagine the Ravens take an inside linebacker in the first round, and it's Schwetzinger at a UCLA.
Ooh. Yeah.
I saw him to the Rams at 26 in a mock. Crazy stuff. But he is a good player. So remember I said, Zach, a few weeks ago, I was like, if you like a guy, you just take him.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Caleb Ransall a lot.
Does it not seem a little early? I feel like you could wait one
maybe
more, right?
So 2 guys I like right here, Ty Robinson and then Quincy Riley out of Louisville. Ravens pick again in 7 picks. So it's like
I think the idea of I think no matter what, you get a D tackle here, but I think this is the perfect range for it, as in former Ravens drafts, for sure.
Yeah. And Ty Robinson is a really high effort guy that could get a little bit better with technique, but he's super athletic, 6'5", 288. I think he would be in the rotation immediately for the Ravens at D-line out of Nebraska. I think I'm going to go with him and hope that I can still get one of the corners I like at 136. And Quincy Riley's gone. Let's see where he went. To the Patriots at 132.
A little trade up there, maybe.
I do like Ransall.
A little insight to a corner. Is he a Frazier?
Yeah, right here. It is interesting. His name, I'm pretty sure, is pronounced Zay.
Is it?
Yeah, I was watching a mock draft earlier with Connor Rogers from NBC. They were talking about him a little bit. I haven't watched him, to be honest. And I'd prefer, everyone I've taken so far I've watched. I'd like to take guys I watch and I know about at least. And I'm going to take Caleb Ransall here. 5'11", but I like these corners out of small schools. I think they can get underdrafted a little bit. And Ransall's a guy that I like, and I'm going to take him here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have the slew of the 5th and the 6th and the 7th round picks. I'm going to look at running back here. Oh, Devin Neal is there.
Wow. I'm
taking Devin Neal. I think that's a steal. Super productive at Kansas, not the craziest athlete, but I think almost 1,500 yards in back-to-back seasons. I'm going to go ahead and take a kicker now just to mix it up because you took Fitzgerald. I'll take Saul's at a Pitt.
Okay.
So I'd like to go linebacker, and I want a punt returner. Is Nick Martin here? Yes, he is. Super athletic guy to
Hey.
Oklahoma State. Small, knee injury, but explodes out of a cannon and can rush the edge and play off-ball linebacker. I'm going to get my guy LeJontay Wester now to return punts. I do not trust Tylan Wallace back there. And I think Wester was a great punt returner for Colorado this past season.
You double up on a wide receiver?
I might double up on receiver. I've only taken one offensive lineman. I'm gonna go with a developmental tackle here. I think Carson Vincent out of Alabama A&M. He played at the Senior Bowl and was decent. And he has some tape against Auburn, I believe, and was solid against them as well. So I think this could be a good tackle that you can take in the later rounds and hope to maybe turn into a nice swing tackle as the years go on. One more pick here. I think I'm going to double up at corner just because I only took one and it was late. Mac McWilliams is only 5'10". I'd like to go for a bigger corner here. Cone is 6'1", out of Western Michigan. Man, I love my small school corners, but I'm going to go with him to cap this one off. Andrew said, thanks for the punt returner pick.
Yeah.
Definitely needed this. Yeah, exactly. You just need someone who can just return punts all year, and you're not going to have any problems.
Even then, it's a rookie. I mean,
yeah, I mean, you still could have problems, but he was really good last year doing it. Comment from Zay, I just want to build the trenches, O-line, keep them. Yeah, like, and that's part of what I'm saying. Like, do you just take a guard at 27 no matter what, and just like go all in on the elite O-line? But yeah,
that's our dream. That's been our dream scenario. I just don't think the Ravens would do it.
Thoughts on the draft?
Well, I'm pretty high on it. I mean, Starks was the obvious Ravens pick. I mean, you can't go wrong. That's an A+. Burgess is really a feel it out kind of guy. I mean, you had a good group there to pick from. That's just going from who you like the most. And Frazier, I'm very high on. I love Frazier. I think he's definitely going to give someone like Voorhees a real run. But the rest of it was just kind of we've said it a lot, but really kind of filling needs. I think that since you have Starks, it almost negates the fact that you need a corner, even though you get Ransaw just as a depth piece, which is great. And just like Andrew, I'll give you a shout out for a punt returner. I think we are all very high on getting some help in that room, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Kicker, obviously, with really the uncertainty. But I've heard a lot about Devin Neal. I think there's a lot of running backs on that board where they're really floated around as potential sleeper, even like fantasy names, which was kind of fun to me. But I guess in our group, he would not be. But even then, I like the idea of getting some more help because someone like Keaton Mitchell. So overall, I mean, I like it. I think you get a D tackle in the later round, which I love as a Ravens kind of stamp. And I think you can't be unhappy with this. I think it's an easy BB+.
We had a comment from Devin. With the 30,000 picks that they have, do you think there's any chance they trade up at all in the first round, third round, fourth round?
I think there's a chance. Like, you have too many picks. I think at some point they will jump up for someone. I just feel like it's in a later situation. So,
yeah.
Another thing to kind of mention about your draft too. I mean, second round, besides maybe just a Rosengarten kind of pick, hasn't been the Ravens' best kind of spot. I mean, JK was a good one.
Yeah.
It's just not been the best area for the Ravens. So what I see so much in a worry is where they go in the second round. Because obviously the whole thing is determined by the first round, but the second round is where you kind of got to nail it if you're the Ravens, because you need a guy that can definitely be a part of the rotation. And I think that Birch can definitely be. If you're as high on him as someone like Oladejo, then gotta be happy with this draft.
Yeah, like this site. By the way, we should probably shout out what site we're using. Pro Football Sports Network, profootballnetwork.com. This mock draft, they had Birch ranked like 76, I think. But I love him. I think he's going to be really good. I like him at 59. Zach, my question for you is, besides your first round guy, so I'm asking everyone after this video ends to go watch Jordan Birch, the edge rusher out of Oregon. Is there a guy that you drafted that you would like everyone to go watch as well?
I mean, I think that you need to do a bunch of work on the D linemen in the first round. I love the looks of someone like Grant. I love the looks of someone like Walter Nolan. It just doesn't seem like the best Ravens pick. So later rounds, I'm in love with a Marcus Bow pick. I'm from Indiana, so a Purdue guy kind of matches a little bit of bias, but I think that really a guard in the 2 to 3 territory is where you need to look out for. A Frazier, like you got here, a Ratledge, like we keep talking about. I think the guard maybe in a later pick is becoming more likely, just given how the first round is turning out.
Mm-hmm. Comment from Don C. We got Rosengarten last year. Don't pay attention to the 8 previous years where we
You're right,
had no success in the second round.
I'll go a little more recent. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's all we had for you guys today. We gave you some hot takes to start both of our mock drafts. So news regarding the pod. Wednesday night, round 1, just round 1 to 32 mock draft. We'll be here live Wednesday night. Thursday night, we'll be live for the whole entire first round. So guys, feel free to pop in whenever, however long you want. We'll be there from about 7:30 to midnight.
Especially the Ravens pick. You got to join for the Ravens pick.
Yeah. And I'm going to do my best to put timestamps on that live after we're done, so you guys can go back and watch our reactions to certain picks, and obviously the Ravens pick as well. And then Friday night we'll go live after day 2. And then same thing, Saturday, day 3, reactions to the whole draft. And yeah, busy week coming up, but it's just getting started. Feel free to like the video, guys. Helps us out a lot. Thanks, everyone. Actually, I haven't done this in a while. We'll go through the comments here. Just thank everyone that was with us tonight.
Yeah.
David, Zay, Andrew, both Andrews, Don C, as always, Devin, Cooper, and Dylan Wolf. Thanks for being here tonight, guys. Appreciate you, Andrew. Guys, come out Wednesday night, come out Thursday night. We will be here. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, thanks for watching. We will see you guys next time. Peace.